I think, as I told you last time, generally it does not happen that there is always a perfect story. We had spoken to one of our students who was a dropper. Today, I have someone with me, a student of mine, who faced a tragic situation in the family. Her mother left her while she was preparing for the examination. Let's learn from her story. Let's get inspired, understand what she went through, and how did she turn around the things for herself, go about preparing for this examination. Let's get Tanmaya here. She's one of our students and she has cleared AIAT examinations. She was preparing for both NLSAT and AIAT. She was left short of only a few marks in the NLSAT examination. However, she's finally cleared the AIAT exam, and let's have her here and see what she has to share. Hi, Tanmaya. Welcome to the channel. First of all, tell the viewers about yourself and also why are you interested in law?
I basically changed my stream from science to law because of the my amplification of for my passion, love towards people, and to be a voice for voiceless, and upholding the values instilled by my mom, and the commitment to ensure the equality for the oppressed and marginalized people. So my ultimate goal is to get into judiciary and make sure that I serve the equality and be passionate and be faithful. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very noble thought that you want to mete out justice to people, which is why you have thought of venturing into the field of law. Tanmaya, one personal question, as I'm already aware of your situation, we've spoken about it. Let the viewers also know, because I want students to take inspiration from you, that it happens. Generally, it happens with a lot of people that, during our preparation or something important is coming up in our lives, and suddenly there is a tragedy that takes place. That the same thing sort of happened in your life as well. As we spoke, that your mom left while you were preparing. How did you deal with that situation?
Obviously, ma'am, there was a unavoidable situation. It was such a shock for our family that my mom left us. I think then and there I started my preparation. Actually, those were the initial days, and how I took that into a positive way, that actually is a notable, because my mom had a dream of me getting into the most top college, and she wants me to become a judge like her. So that's why her purpose made me to study. Actually, I asked to myself that why I'm leaving after those kind of incidents. Like when you are very in touch with a person and they leave you, you will be having that phase that why we need to leave in our life. I think then and there I got a positive thought that why I'm leaving and what is the purpose of leaving. What is my purpose of leaving in this life? So I be so I became optimistic. Like I took everything in a positive way. Everyone in their life having a burdens of reason to not to study, to not to achieve the things in their difficulty zones. They give excuses actually, but we should never give an excuse, because everybody in everybody's life there will be problems. We need to pack it up and just throw it in a corner of a room, and we need to sit and study. That only can save us from the difficult situation in further. That is what my mom taught me. So that is how I tackled my difficult situation, and I was taking everything positively. The purpose of my life, why I want to get into the college, and how to prepare and how to turn this negative into positive. So that made me really motivated, and I think for this really I want to thank my mom giving me such energy, that power, and that foundation support for me always. So this is how about I just went through the difficult situation. Yeah.
Okay. Tanya, that's very inspiring and rather commendable that, such a grave situation, you turned things around for yourself. And we feel very happy that you have cleared the entrance exams with your own effort, with the blessings of your mother. And let's move ahead with your strategy and understand from you that how did you go about preparation? When did you seriously start preparing for the examination?
Ma'am, when I was unable to qualify in NSAT 2023, I geared up my preparation for NSAT 2024 and also for AIT. I was preparing for both of the exams. So, talking from the scratch, I started to collect the source for the both of the examination. As we know that we don't have that much of accessibility for the materials. So therefore, I started from September. As I started to collect all the sources. Then I came across that your model. When I subscribed to your module, I came to know the foundations, what exactly the examiner is expecting us to give in that particular examination. For example, reading comprehension, current affairs, or English knowledge. So your module helped us to lay the foundation for our preparation. So talking about AIT was my backup plan. Like I was preparing for both of the examinations simultaneously. So talking about the current affairs, I started to follow the newspaper. I stick to the one newspaper. So you can pick up any of the newspapers and you can stick into that. So my thing was I used to get up daily and I used to go through all the newspaper thoroughly for 2 hours. And especially I used to work on the editorial section because they will get a lot of comprehensive skills and what actually we want for the right examination in our hand. So with that as well, we will be able to tackle the current affairs as well. I had a small personal notes with me where I used to write it down, whatever the important burning issues, the contemporary topics, I used to note it down for myself so that it made me so easy for me to go through and revise in at the end of the sessions. So that is how I was going through the current affairs. And later, about the GK or legal current affairs, I used to follow your modules because it's more than enough. And I also followed some of the legal magazines. And yeah, I used to make up a notes for myself. I think making your own notes, going from the scratch, develops that attitude of that comfortable zone for you to understand what actually there in it. For example, the question came from our AIT that who was the one who was in controversy in the election commission. I think if you come across the election commission's whatever the controversy that is happening by the days, if you are in linked with that, then only you'll be able to tackle the question over. So you have to be in chain link with that.
So moving ahead, like you mentioned that you were noting down the topics for current affairs, what are the burning issues and all. But after that, like, how did you? That obviously helps in understanding. Ki, okay, for writing sample, this can be an important topic. But how did you go about organizing your writing sample? How did you practice that? कि किस तरह से लिखना है? How did you understand and gauge what should your writing sample look like?
So as I was preparing for NLSAT, I used those techniques here in AIT as well. Like talking about the subjective writing. So we had to write two questions for 20 marks. So we had two questions like they were like very easy topics. They were burning issues they have given for us, the electoral bonds or the same-sex marriage kind of things. I had an habitude of writing down the detailed thing in my notes about these kind of burning issues. So I had a habit of this. Then that actually applied on her AIT, and that was the advantage for me. So following the contemporary topics, socio-political topics, and writing down your opinion, that is very, very important. And also at the same time, typing, the practice is very important. I used to type like 500 to 600 words per day. That actually made me to type it more faster because you have that structure of the essay in your mind, but how you present it is very important in a well organized way. So what you have to write in the introduction, and then what actually the case facts go into it, and then to the conclusion. So this is very important. That's why if your typing speed is good, I think you'll be able to answer it in more words that you can get a lot of marks in it now.
You were already practicing a lot every day. Then, as you mentioned earlier, also that you took a lot of mocks. So, how did they help you? What did you understand from mocks? What were your learnings through giving the mocks?
So in my initial mocks, I was not able to get good marks, or I was not knowing how to structure an essay and how to go about the questions or something. So after I was able to take up more and more marks, I think you helped me in a lot of the essays what I was writing and the questions what I was writing. When I used to send you, you used to correct. Okay, this is where you're lacking. These are the things you have to put it in the box. So these are the things which I actually learned from, and that is how my marks from the mock to mock got increased. So yeah, that is it about the mocks.
Okay, okay. So how important do you think these mocks are eventually? Like you mentioned, because your mocks were getting evaluated, you improved upon yourself. For the viewers who are preparing for next year, how can they go about their mocks?
So talking about the mocks, so mocks are very, very important for our preparation to enhance the preparation level, because the exams what we took is a time constraint exams. So we need to be very quick, a reader as well and analyzer as well. So
I think mocks also help to an extent that when you're reading and you're reading all the current affairs, editorials every day, but then eventually through the mocks you're able to apply that knowledge to the question and see that how much facts do you actually have with yourself. That gets checked through the mocks.
And talking about the personal interview, I think I gave mock interview with you, and you took my mock interview, and you said so many things which I really don't know what actually the PI people used to ask me. I really didn't had anything out of the question. Tell me about yourself. So you said all those basic questions that can be asked by the interviewers. So I think I followed everything. When I was in front of the interviewers, I think I was able to talk very fluently, and I was able to be confident because I was knowing actually what actually they're going to ask for me.
We've understood about your preparation and everything. What are those final tips that you would want to give the students who are preparing for the examination next year?
For all the people out there, I want to say that be consistent with your preparation. I think that only can save you, and that only can make you to clear out these type of examinations. Being consistent with what you're doing, either you are reading one hour newspaper per day, it is enough. But you need to be consistent with the days. I want to suggest be updated with the legal current affairs as well. Don't neglect it because it plays an important role as we saw in our previous exams. And yes, that is it about.
Thank you so much, Tanmaya, for taking out time, being here, and sharing your tips with the students. I'm sure all these things that you shared are going to help the aspirants who are preparing for the next year examination. And we wish you all the best with your future.
Thank you, and I want to thank you so much for being so humble and kind and replying all my messages and tolerating all our disturbances all the time. You are so patient. Like whatever the silly thoughts, whatever the silly messages we do, you always replied us back, and that is why we are sitting here. We are giving interview. Because of your support and because of your guidance, your foundation, everything worked out very well. And thank you so much for guiding us, guiding me, especially from last 2 years. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I want to take a permission to thank my mom in this platform. I really want to thank my mom once again.
all right, all right. I hope your prayer, she gives you her blessings and your prayers reach her. And yes, I do tell the students this, the same thing, that it is your own individual effort also, apart from whatever, study material you're consulting, coaching you're doing. At the same time, you also have to be consistent with your efforts, and continuously you are the one who knows that where your preparation actually is, and you should raise questions regarding whatever doubts that you have. And if you find a mentor, then well and good. Apart from that, I guess whatever you shared comes to be handy knowledge, especially for AIT examination. I see that there is dearth of material and guidance regarding this examination. However, we are trying our best to keep the students updated with whatever notifications are coming, whatever is the demand of the examination. So let's see how does the next batch fares, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Guys, that was Tanmaya for you, and you saw that how in the difficult situations and circumstances she did not let those excuses get to her. She was consistent with her preparation, kept trying, kept practicing, and I think that is what life is about, that the show must go on. So irrespective of whatever hardships you might be facing at present in your life, if you are determined that you have to do law or do anything that you have set, the goal that you've set for yourself, then in that case, you yourself will have to make an effort in that direction by staying consistent, by motivating yourself. And obviously, we are also here to help you guys. So in case you need any help with your preparation, you can reach out to us through the different social media platforms we are available at. And also make sure that for such videos, you keep following us, follow the channel, subscribe to our channel, and also follow us on Instagram.